and the numbers right now, we don't have to have a lot defensively. And but defensive back wise, need to sign 2 guys, 1 more inside linebacker and 1 defensive lineman.
What are you looking for in a nose? I mean, are you looking for the mountain
No,
that Alabama's looking for?
No, not at all.
Mobile?
Not at
Like,
all. What we do defensively, we're not a 2 gaps type scheme guys. So we're going to move our front a lot. So we're looking for a guy that's really, really quick, but also be able to take care of double teams as well. So we're not looking for a guy that's 350, 330 type guy. We're looking for kind of a little smaller guy, kind of your smaller, a bigger defensive end type guy that can play nose and that can move really, really quickly and take them to double teams.
When you take stock of what you were inheriting, what do you have? What do you like about it? What are the challenges ahead to make it competitive in the fall?
Well, right now, just looking at it and looking at what we have, we're putting at defensive line wise. So some guys will move down, they play linebacker, will move down the defensive line. I think that's one of the strong points. And to be able to win football games, you have to have a foundation up front to be able to win football games. That's on both sides of the football. And that's what we build at App State, and that's what we're going to continue to build here.
Getting the flip from Dorian, how key was that?
That was key. That was really, really key. So myself and our linebacker coach that was with us at App, we went down and watched him play last spring, and he is a thumper, like Coach says. When I say he puts his hats on the ball, he can rush the quarterback when need to, but he's a very, very intelligent kid. I mean, just with him this past weekend, on an official visit again, and went down and saw him last week, just talking football with him. You can just tell he's taught very, very well. I don't know if you guys know Patrick Surtain, who played in the NFL for a long time for the Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs. He's his head coach. So he's getting coached very, very well, you can tell. But he's very, very smart. And to be in the play in our scheme, you have to be very, very intelligent. And, Coach Sapp mentioned it earlier about getting guys that are, your 3.0s and your 3.5s that, they're really, really smart and want an education as well as play the game of football. And that's really, really key, to have guys that love education but love the game of football. And when you got that mixture, that helps out during the football field. I think it was a couple of years ago we did a study with, especially the App, to where we had an X amount of number of guys that were on a roll, and that was one of the best seasons we had that year. Same thing again this past year, having 11-2 season. The exact same, result. So you got to have guys that love the game, but also love academics.
It speaks to the culture you're trying to build. Just
exactly
talk about
right.
This staff, some of these guys and the culture you're trying to build.
Yeah, we're just trying to build a culture that is very compatible to and comparable to a Clemson, because they're the guys to beat, and that's the honest God's truth, So you got guys over there. I've been over there visiting with those guys as well as Coach Sapp, in the past, and that's the culture that they have, and that's the culture that we have at Appalachian State. So as you can see, it's pretty successful. So we just want to continue to do that here, and that speaks volumes to our head coach. He's not the guy that just want to go out and sign a 5-star, 4-star, and the kid may have a 1.8, 1.5 GPA, and is trying to get eligible. And there's places for those guys as well, but not here at Appalachian. Not here at I almost said Appalachian State. Not here at Louisville. But it's I just love it. I love working for Coach Sapp. He's an unbelievable young man, a Christian man, believes in family. So our families are always around the facility. Kids and all. My kids are actually upstairs right now. So, but that just speaks volumes to him of what type of person he is, what type of coach he is, and what type of player we want here at Louisville.
Early on, when you're trying to get these the guys you have currently on the roster, how do you get them to kind of buy in to what you guys are doing?
Well, I think the proof is in the pudding. I mean, they've seen the success that we've had at App, and the crazy thing, we've had so many guys. I've met with defensive maybe like 20 guys already, and they're just excited. When you have a change at times, guys want to eat it up like a sponge. They just want to soak it up like a sponge, and they want new information, and they're just excited to go. And the crazy thing is, those guys watched our game, the bowl game, even though I wasn't coaching it, but they saw the foundation that we built and how we play defense there. And I had one kid come up to me yesterday. He's like, "Coach, I'm so pumped, just to see what we do defensively, the different movements, the different shifts, and a lot of sacks. They had six sacks the other night in the game. had a couple picks. We just play fast, and they saw how well they meshed together and played for each other. And that's the thing. That's one of our core values. We play for the other 10, not for ourselves, not for the glory of ourselves. So, it's just like defensive line-wise. We had a nose at Appalachian State, Mike Stout. Didn't have a whole lot of stats, but he freed up a lot of our backers, and all of our backers were all conference, every last one of them, and he made first team because he was able to, free up those guys as well, and he made plays as well in the backfield, but nobody could block him one-on-one, so that's why they had to double team him a lot, and that's great, that's great for us to scheme the defense because we're going to fly around and play for each other, and I think those guys are excited, but proof is in the pudding. To answer your question, they see the success, and once they get around to know us, I think the sky will be the limit for those guys.
Most of you have prior relationships.